Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Pause and Effect on Air. I'm your host CJ, and today I'm finally back to doing game dev. This is the first one for 2026. I'm delving into Unity again. Let me go ahead and get some music started. Starting with Cammy's theme from Street Fighter 4. So, I had to re-download Unity because, hey, Tony, welcome to the stream. I had to re-download Unity because I got a new PC, but I did notice that there was a tutorial for like a platformer template. I don't know if this is fully 2D using sprites or if it's like completely 3D, but I'm willing to poke around with it and try to figure something out. So I think I can. There we go. Okay, so get started. In this tutorial, you'll begin to explore the basics of the Unity editor as you playtest the beginning of the platformer microgame, review the Unity editor interface, make the player go faster. Can I expand this out? Yes, I can. Okay, so first let's try the game using play mode. You can select play in the toolbar at the top of the Unity editor. Okay. God, what is this idle animation? This idle is awful. And what is this sound effect? Okay. Okay, those animations are a little too slow for my liking. Okay. Okay, that's a problem. Well, okay. Jenny, welcome to the stream. Okay, so there is a hidden thing. One, two. Oops. Oh, it took me all the way back to the beginning. Ugh. This template needs work. Okay, next let's make the player character move faster. Go deeper. Everything in your game world, including the player character, is called a game object. The hierarchy is where you organize. Okay, so player. Dead. Yep, pretty much, Jenny. Okay, so in the player controller component, locate the max speed property and change its property to 10. Jump audio, respawn audio, max speed. So 3, I need it to be 10. Next. Okay, Control S. Oh god, that's too fast. God, what is this speed relevant to? Like, good God, this is... Okay. Good lord. Okay. Okay. Um, increase the speed of the player. They want it that way? Like, motherfucker, are you insane? Okay, either way. In this tutorial, you'll learn more about the Unity editor as you change your view with the hand tool, move a game object with the move tool. Okay, where's that? Here we go. Huh, this is a particularly long level. Huh? What is that? Random little Easter egg of a little alien just chilling all the way down at the bottom of the level in a spot that cannot be reached. Very interesting. Any way to silence the template's game music? I'm just going to silence the my Unity engine audio thing in OBS. That should be better, Tony. Granted, I do also have my Spotify audio going, if that's what you're referencing. Okay. With the view tool selected, you can zoom in and out. Hold down Alt or Option. Okay, cool, thank you. Alright, cool. Hold down the Alt or Option key and the right mouse button. Then move the mouse to zoom in and out. Oh, interesting little trick, but I can always just use my scroll wheel. You like my Spotify music, just not the Unity music? Okay, that's fine. I'm moving on. Okay. Using the move tool, let's move one of our tokens. Select this one. It's already been selected. Okay. Hold on. There, I'm actually going to change the max speed to 10, no, to 5, from 10. Make your game more colorful. Selecting the game object that will change color, so the player. Before you change the color of the player, you can easily get a better view of it. With your cursor over the scene view, press F on the keyboard to frame the player. Okay. In the sprite renderer component, select the color box. Yeah, I'm gonna go purple. There. Try playing the game with a new color? Okay. Oh, this actually contrasts perfectly well. Oops. And also, I'm gonna be honest, the move speed of 3? No, the move speed of 5? It works pretty well. Okay, let me see if I can make it to the end of this tutorial project. There. Oh, come on. Okay, fuck it then. Man, this is a really simplistic tutorial. Honestly, wait, let me see if I can find the music asset. Maybe it's in here. Is there a way to mute this? Okay, I need to know where it's playing. Oh, wait, background? No, it's not here. It's not here. It's not here. Event system? No. Essie Jolly, welcome to the stream. Oh wait, audio listener? No, that's not it either. Moving on from this. Ooh, yes. Oh, here we are. There. Music volume, I've set that to 0. Like, this music is awful. Get it out of here. Now, if it sounded like the Village of All Beginnings from Tomba, I would not have an attitude, but... God, I know this is a tutorial project, but... Ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, add an enemy. Okay, add an enemy. So, prefab enemy. I technically have already moved it. Okay. I don't need to worry about that. But I may as well just... That's fine. In this tutorial, you added an enemy prefab. Is this really it? This hardly shows you how to do anything. If anything, I feel a little insulted. Let me just see if I can get to the end of this bullshit without dying. Okay, that's the end of it. Good. God, do I really want to file, build profiles? Oh, what? I don't want to actually publish this. Like, I haven't done shit for this, if I'm being honest. Well, I may as well. And I guess I'll just make a new thing. Builds. The first build may take up to 10 minutes. The fuck? I didn't want to... Great. Well, on the plus side, at least this project actually synced with my wired Xbox controller. Oh, it's already done. Or it's about to be. I guess the only thing I can really do is just get used to this process now. At this point, I'm just enjoying the music. Okay, that's good. Alright, tutorial 6, what's next? There's really only two things. Explore the junior programmer pathway? Oh, it pulled up a Unity thing. Or it pulled up a thing on my web browser. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull this over here. Oh, you know what? I should probably log in. Oh, cool. It already logged me in. There. So, all right. Junior programmer, I may as well just like try the pathway, you know? This is okay, they don't have it for 6.3. That's a problem. I may as well just do it like this though. Oh, I have to... have to actually listen to this bullshit?
Welcome to this official course from Unity, where you will learn to create with code. My name's Carl, and I'll be your instructor, teaching, guiding, and challenging you every step of the way. I studied computer science and game development, and have been helping students create with technology for almost 10 years.
Can I skip?
That means it's practical forms like Windows and all the technology skill sets. Now in each one of these prototypes, you'll learn critical new concepts, expanding and reinforcing your skill set with each new feature you add. After completing each prototype, I'll present you with a skill testing programming challenge and quiz where you can prove that you're ready to move on. And finally, throughout the course, you will also work on your own personal project that is completely and uniquely your own. You'll have lab time to come up with a design and concept for your project, planned already, so you'll...
Okay, so this was useless. Watch, then do.
Before you get started working on the course, there's something really important. It's so important that we made this in this course. Watch, then do. This course is made up of a ton of videos that you will watch, where I'm showing you how to do.
Alright, whatever. I get the idea. How would you rate this tutorial? 1 star. Boring. I get it. I get what they're trying to say. I don't need 6 to 7 minutes of preamble before actually jumping into things. Just skip over these introductions and get on with it. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna have to re-pull this up and make another project. Okay, I remember doing this Essentials Pathway tutorial. God, this 2D platformer microgame tutorial, this was useless. And I still feel incredibly insulted having, like, actually done that. Because it didn't do anything. I've got a better idea. Unity 2.5D platformer from scratch. Unity 6.3 tutorial. Let me think. Unity 6.3 tutorial. 2D platformer. Alternatively, 3D platformer. I think I'll just skip over this one. just move a few of these around. Cool. Now I don't have to worry about shit else.
Hi guys! In this video we're going to start building a 3D platformer using the Unity game engine. We'll cover how to install everything you need, and then we'll get familiar with Unity and use it to create a simple scene. You can download this project and the final game we're working towards by supporting us on Patreon. All the links you need can be found in the description. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is install Unity. If you already have it installed, then you can skip over this chapter. We'll go to unity.com/download. Then we'll download Unity Hub and install it.
Okay, I already get the idea.
We'll go to the Projects tab and click the New Project button. We want to create a 3D game, so we'll select Universal 3D. Universal 3D projects are for games targeting a wide range of hardware, such as mobile.
Oh, hold on. Whoops. Then I probably should not have just created that all willy-nilly. Give me a moment then. Yikes. Alright. It's gonna take a bit. It's gotta install some shit. All these packages. All these packages. I mean, I feel like I already have a general idea of what it is I want to create. I mean, I played... What? Yeah, Tomba 2, The Evil Swine Return on stream back on Sunday, I think. And Tomba 2 specifically remains to this day one of my favorite games of all time. And easily I would like, I've been saying for at least a couple days, had I like the real technical know-how to make a game that's an homage to it, then I would absolutely attempt to do that. And you know what? I think the best thing to do with that sort of thing is just jump in and like just keep failing. Like, fail as quick as you can, as hard as possible. Okay, so I gotta do this again. Universal 3D. Oh. Just gonna call this 3D platformer homage. Alright, so give me a second. I gotta do this again. At least I got good music to play while I'm waiting. But no, like, at some point, I do want to, I looked back at 2025 and I feel really, really bad because as opposed to 2024 where I published 3, possibly 4 projects, in 2025, I published 1, possibly 2 projects. And that, looking back at that, that doesn't sit right with me at all. So I want to actually, like, try to make something. Uh-oh, encoding overloaded. That's no good. Is it because I keep trying to make new Unity shit? I think that's the problem. But, Yeah, no. Eventually, I do want to, like, make something, whether I make it in, like, RPG Maker, SRPG Studio, Godot Engine, hold on. What was I saying? Whether I make it in RPG Maker MV, SRPG Studio, Unity, Godot Engine, maybe Unreal if I ever decide to poke around in that again. Just something, but like, I want to at least have something to publish. Or something that I have published before this year ends. Like, for the sake of my sanity, I need to get that done. That was weird. I think I may just shrink this a bit. Or can I not? Yeah, we're good.
To create a 3D game, so we'll select Universal 3D. Universal 3D projects are for games targeting a wide range of hardware, such as mobile, mid-tier PCs and consoles. There's also high definition 3D, but this is for games targeting higher end hardware. We'll name our project Doozy's Adventure. Then we'll click Create Project.
Okay, I'm waiting for them.
When the project finishes loading, we're presented with a sample scene. A game in Unity is made up of one or more scenes. A scene could be a level in the game or could be the main menu screen. Each scene contains game objects that determine what the player sees and hears, and how they can interact with the scene. The sample scene contains a few essential game objects, such as a camera and a light. We'll add more game objects to this to make a simple level. First of all, we'll go to the project panel. In here, we'll find a folder that contains the scenes. We'll double-click this folder to open it. We'll right-click the sample scene and select Rename. We'll name this Level 1. Now we'll start adding some platforms to the level. We'll click the plus button in the hierarchy and select 3D object Cube. We'll name this Platform. We can now see a cube in the scene view. We can use the mouse wheel to zoom in. Or we can double-click on the platform in the hierarchy to focus on it. If we look at the inspector on the right-hand side, we can see all the components of the cube. Every game object has a transform, which determines its position, rotation, and scale. We can change the position in either the X, Y, or Z axes, and we can see its position change in the scene. We'll leave these all at 0 for now. We can also rotate on each axis.
Yep. I see it.
Again, we'll set these back to 0. The scale determines how big the object is. We'll set this to 3 on all axes to make the platform a bit bigger. We'll zoom out so we can see what this looks like. It's worth mentioning that you should generally try to have the same scale on all axes. Using a non-uniform scale can lead to things like physics not behaving as expected. To help with this, we can click this button, which will make sure all the values stay the same. In addition to the transform, we have various other components. There's a mesh filter and renderer which determines what the object looks like.
Yep.
There's also a box collider component which defines a shape that's used by the physics system to handle collisions.
Yep.
Next, we'll create another identical platform. One way we can do this is to duplicate the existing platform. We'll right-click on the platform in the hierarchy and select Duplicate. If we change the position of this, we can see that there are now 2 platforms. This works, but there's no link between the two. This means that if we want to change something, for example the colour, then we'd have to change each one individually. To link all our platforms together, we're going to create something called a prefab. Let's delete the second platform by selecting it in the hierarchy and pressing the Delete key.
Oh.
Then we'll navigate to the Assets folder in the Project panel. We'll click the plus button and create a new folder.
I'll just do that.
We'll name this Prefabs. Then we'll double-click the folder to open it. Now we'll drag the platform from the hierarchy into the new folder.
There.
This has created a prefab of the platform. If we look in the inspector, we can see the prefab has all the components of the platform. Excluding the transform, any changes made here will then apply to all platforms created with the prefab. To create a second platform from the prefab, we'll drag the prefab into the scene view. We'll set the position of this platform to 5 on the x-axis, 1 on the y-axis and 0 on the z-axis. We'll zoom out so we can see both platforms. Now we have 2 platforms that share the same prefab. Next, we'll give them some colour. To do this, we need to create a material. We'll navigate to the Assets folder in the Project panel. Then we'll click the plus button and create a new folder.
I misspelled it.
We'll name this Materials. We'll double-click this to open the folder. Then we'll click the plus button and create a new material. We'll name this Platform Material. We can move this slider to the left to scale the view so that we can read all the text. In the inspector, there are various settings that we can change to affect the appearance of the material.
Okay.
For now, we'll just set the colour by clicking on the base map. You can set this to any colour you like. We'll set it to green.
I'm gonna go sky bluish.
Now we want to assign this material to the platforms. As we want it to apply to all platforms, we need to update the prefab. We'll navigate to the prefabs folder. Then we'll select the platform prefab. In the inspector, we'll find the materials section and expand it. Then we'll click on this target icon to find a material. We'll search for the platform material. Then we'll click to assign it.
Hold on. There you are.
Now both platforms have turned green. Next, we'll create an object to represent the player. We'll click the plus button in the hierarchy and select 3D Object, Capsule. We'll name this Player. We'll set the position of this to 2.5 on the y-axis to place it on top of the platform. Let's make it look a bit more interesting by changing the colour of the player. We'll navigate to the Materials folder. Then we'll click the plus button and add a new material. We'll name this Player Material. We'll select the base map and this time we'll set it to an orange colour.
Okay, I can vibe with that.
As we don't have a prefab for the player, we can assign the material directly to the object. To do this, we'll drag the material onto the player in the scene view.
Oh, that's another way to do it.
Now we have a really basic scene. Let's select the Game tab to see how this will look when the game is playing. This is showing the view of the scene from the camera. Let's try moving the camera to get a different view. We'll select the camera in the hierarchy. Then we'll change the position on the y-axis to 5. Now we're viewing the scene from a bit higher up. You can try experimenting with different camera positions and rotations to see how that changes the view.
Oh wait, no, that's perfect. I'm not going to adjust it anymore.
Finally, let's save all our changes by selecting File, Save from the main menu.
There.
In the next video in this series, we'll look at how to take input from the keyboard or a gamepad and use it to make the player move around. If you want to be alerted when this one's out, then subscribe and click the bell icon. If you have any questions or feedback on this video, let us know in the comments. A big thank you to all our patrons, we really appreciate you helping to support the channel. If you'd like to help and also get access to the source code, you can find details in the description. Thanks guys!
Okay, that tutorial was actually very concise. Catch Our Games, got it. So, okay. So this is actually fairly recent, I like that. December 7th, 2024. I'm assuming this is the next one?
Hi guys!
Yes it is!
In this video we're going to look at how we can receive input from the keyboard or gamepad and use it to move an object in the scene. We'll be adding this to the 3D platformer series we've been building. You can download this project and the final game we're working towards by supporting us on Patreon. All the links you need can be found in the description. Okay, the first thing we need to do is define the controls for our game. We'll navigate to the Assets folder in the project panel. In here we can see this input system
Oh, huh, okay.
actions file. This file defines a default control scheme that Unity created for us. Let's double click this to open it. We can see that there's a list of all sorts of standard game controls such as moving and jumping. Each of these are input actions. If we expand the jump action, we can see that it has various controls bound to it. So the jump action would be triggered when the spacebar is pressed, or when the south button on a gamepad is pressed. While we could make use of these, we're going to start again to show how it works. We'll right click on each one and select Delete.
Wait, we're deleting all of these? Is that what she said?
While we could make use of these, we're going to start again to show how it works.
Oh.
We'll right click on each one and select Delete.
Alright, then let me do that real fast. Delete, delete, delete. If it ain't causing feats, you must delete. You know, I tried to do something in the same vein as if the glove don't fit, you must acquit, but that really didn't fucking work. Oy vey. Okay. So I just really have to wait until she's done deleting all of this. Oh, my various Koopas. I'm gonna just concentrate on this one song. Either that or I'll wait till the next one.
Now we want to define the
Actually, yeah,
controls
that's what
for
I'm gonna
moving
do.
the player. We'll click the plus button to add a new action. We'll call this Move.
Girl, where? Oh, I found it.
We'll change the action type to Value. And we'll change the control type to Vector 2. This is saying that we want to get a value containing a vector with 2 dimensions based on our input. The vector will have an X and Y component. X for the left and right movement, and Y for the up and down movement.
Okay.
Now that we have the action defined, we can map some controls to it. We'll click the arrow to expand the action. We'll select the empty binding that it's created. Then we'll click on the path drop-down. We'll select gamepad and then left stick. This is saying that we want the left thumbstick of a gamepad to control our movement.
Right.
We'll tick the gamepad checkbox to say that this is for the gamepad control scheme. Next, we want to allow input from the keyboard. To do this, we'll click the plus button to add a new binding. We'll select the up, down, left, right composite. This will allow us to combine the input from 4 separate keys into one value.
Hold on. Oh god, why is it so blurry? Auto at 360p? Are you fucking crazy?
This will allow us to combine the input from left, right. Click the plus button to add a new binding. We'll select the up, down, left, right.
Oh, that's where I messed up. Got it. Delete that.
Composite. This will allow us to
Composite?
combine the input from 4 separate keys into one value. We'll right-click this and select Rename. We'll name it Keyboard. If we expand this, we can see there are empty bindings for each direction. We'll select the binding for up. We'll map this to the W key on the keyboard. To do this, we'll click on the Path drop-down. Then we can click the Listen button. It's now listening for input. We can now press the W key and it will appear in the drop-down. We'll select this to assign it. For this one, we'll tick the keyboard and mouse control scheme. We'll then do the same for the other bindings. We'll bind down to the S key.
Ouch.
We'll bind left to the A key.
Already a step ahead of you, lady.
And we'll bind right to the D key. Some players may prefer to use the arrow keys for movement, so we'll add in bindings for that as well. We'll duplicate the up binding by right-clicking on it and selecting Duplicate. Then we'll change the path to the up arrow.
I see, that's...
We'll do the same for the other directions, setting them to the appropriate arrow keys.
Huh, this is actually very handy. There, we're good.
We've now defined all the controls we want to use for movement. Let's
Alright.
click this button to save the changes.
Where? What did she click? Oh, save asset.
Now we need to use this to make the player move. We'll close this window and select the player in the hierarchy. We need to tell this game object to listen for inputs. We can do this by adding a new component. We'll go to the inspector and click the Add Component button. We'll search for player input.
Alright, hold on. Player input.
Then we'll click to add the component.
Wait, hold on.
Player input. Then we'll do this by adding a new component. We'll go to the inspector and click the Add Component button. We'll search for player input. Then we'll click to add the component. We can see it's automatically assigned the input actions we just created.
Got it.
This component will listen out for the configured inputs and then notify us of what action has occurred. To listen out for these notifications, we need to add a custom script. We'll go to the
Okay.
project panel and click the plus button to create a new folder. We'll call this Scripts. We'll double click to open this. We're going to end up with lots of scripts, so it's a good idea to group them into folders. We'll create a new folder called Level to contain all the scripts for the level.
Oh, that's smart.
Inside this, we'll create another folder called Player to contain all the player-related scripts. We'll open this folder and then click the plus button to add a script. We'll select Mono Behavior Script. We'll name this Player Input Controller. We need to wait for a moment for this to load. Then we'll add this script to the player by dragging it onto the...
I'm realizing now, do I not have Visual Studio?
player in the hierarchy. If we click on the player in the hierarchy, we can see that this script has now been added as a component. Next, we'll double click on the script to start editing it.
Okay, I don't know how I don't have Visual Studio not installed on this PC, but I have an idea. Which version of Visual Studio does Unity need? Unity officially supports and recommends Visual Studio 2022 Community Professional. Hold on. Do I really want to rely on the AI for this? Probably not. God. I may have to go about it like this. I despise the fact that it's AI integrated. But do I really have a choice? Probably not. Alright. Give it a moment. Oh god, please don't train wreck my stream. Oh, it's already done. I may also check Python development just to be safe here. Or not, actually. Oh, sick. So if I uncheck game development with C++, that saves me about 9 gigabytes. Install while downloading. Install. Ugh. I did not think ahead. Because for whatever reason, I thought that when I downloaded Visual Studio... No, when I downloaded Unity to this new PC, I thought it already went ahead and installed Visual Studio, but I guess it didn't. So that's my bad, but I guess... I did say this stream was going to be short. Or shorter than I normally do it, so yeah, that's where we're going. And I did say like fail hard, fail fast. So that's what we're doing. So at this point, I'm just waiting. And understandable, way too many programs to keep track of. Dude, I have been, ever since I got a new PC, I have been like scrambling, trying to re-download everything. And I'm hoping that if at some point I got it all, but like, I don't even remember half of the games I even had installed on my external hard disk before the thing went kaput during the transfer to the new PC. It just, for whatever reason, the whole thing just went belly up. And that's no fun. Especially considering I had all my, not all, but 90% of my Steam games installed onto it, and I also had, like, what? All of the projects in RPG Maker MV and SRPG Studio saved onto it. At least I think that's the case. I may actually have to, I may have to actually, like, turn that old PC back on and check the documents folder on it, just to see if it actually works. Because I do have a monitor going spare that I can try to use to, I can just plug it in and see if it actually wants to work with things. I haven't used it in 2 years, but I think it should still work. I hope, at least. Oh, but look, it's fully downloaded. I just gotta wait for it to install. That was fast. What the hell you mean this might take a while? It's already at 99%. Damn you, Visual Studio! Oh, man. Today just shows how woefully underprepared I was. But you know what? That's okay. It is okay. Well, live and learn, fail faster. Exactly. Alright. Visual Studio is optimizing .NET assemblies. Hey, Copilot 365, fuck off, I don't want you. How many background apps are... Jesus. News Hub, I don't want that. Leave that for now. Action recommended, I'll get to that later. Discord, Spotify, Steam, OBS, Itch, NVIDIA. I don't have to worry about that right now. GCC, what the hell is this again? Oh, it's the RGB lighting for my, and the fans for my PC. SteelSeries, that's for my headset. Unity Hub. Google Play Games, that's for Arknights. Right. Okay. Skip and add accounts later. Dark. Start. I think it's Visual C#. Start Visual Studio. fuck off. I don't want to use the Microsoft Copilot bullshit. Like, Microsoft, you assholes already rebranded Microsoft Office to like Copilot 365. I could not give any more or any less of a shit about your AI integrations. I don't want them.
Unity has created some methods
Here we
for
go.
us. We're not going to need them, so we'll delete them. We want to be notified when there's movement input. We can do this by adding a private method called onMove. Unity may try to automatically create a method called onAnimatorMove. If it does this, then you can just rename it afterwards. The name of this method maps to the input action we defined. We called the input action move, so the method to listen for the input has to be named onMove. To receive the value of the input, we need to add a parameter of type input value. It should automatically add the input system namespace at the top, but if it doesn't, you can add this in by hand. Inside the method, we'll just log the input value for now. We can do this using the debug log method. The move input will create a vector2 value. We can get this from the input value parameter by using the get method and specifying the value type. Right, let's click the save button and go back to Unity.
Oh, I see. Hey, some random fool, welcome to the stream. Okay, so let's see. Public class, player input controller, mono... Oh, is that what... Oh no, it's already there. Okay, private void, on move, input value, debug log, input value, get, vector2.
To give it a try. We'll click on the Console tab. This will allow us to see all the debug messages. We'll click the play button to start the game.
$7.44? What? You've been having internet problems? Oh, hey, no worries, man. Like, I totally understand. Player input controller.cs line 744. No, that shouldn't be there. It's already here.
If we press the W key,
What? Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. Again, where is this coming from? Hi, what you doing? Zodiac RL, welcome to the stream and welcome to Pause and Effects. I'm your host CJ. I am trying to follow along a tutorial on YouTube to do game development, and I'm hitting a really weird snag. Not 100% sure where I'm going wrong here specifically. What's the problem? So, according to this tutorial that I'm trying to reference, which has like this code written out here, like I have it written down as necessary. However, I'm getting a weird error that it's like player input controller.cs 847 error, a closing bracket is expected, which is weird because I have the syntax on this correct. What do you mean by the formatting, Zodiac? Paste this below that. Oh, I see the problem. I see the problem. Thank you so much, Zodiac. Identifier expected? What? Oh, that's why. There we go. The type or namespace name mono behavior could not be found. I guess I'm missing something, clearly. Okay, let me try that. So using oh wait, if it's syntax, did I? Hold on. Oh, that's why. British syntax. It is going to be my downfall. Alright, hang on. Okay, awesome.
Go back to Unity to give it a try.
Zodiac, thank you so much.
We'll click on the Console tab. This will allow us to see all the debug messages. We'll click the play button to start the game. If we press the W key, we can see the input value in the console. It's showing a two-dimensional vector with 0 in the X direction and 1 in the Y direction. If we press the D key, we get 1 in the X direction. If we press them both at the same time, we get a value of around 0.7 in both directions. This is representing a diagonal direction.
Okay.
The arrow keys also work in the same way. If we use a gamepad, we can achieve a bigger range of values, as we can partially move the thumbstick in any direction. Now that we're getting input values, we need to use them to move the player. Let's stop the game and go to the project panel. We're going to add another script to move the player. We'll click the plus button and select Mono Behavior Script. We'll name this Player Controller. Once it's loaded, we'll drag this onto the player in the hierarchy.
Oh wait, hold up.
Then we'll double-click the script to open the editor. We'll delete the default methods again. This script is going to take the input value and use it to change the position of the game object. To do this, we'll need to get the input value from the player input controller script. We'll add a private field to hold a reference to this. Next, we'll create a method called awake.
Hold on. Okay. Private void awake.
Unity once when the object is first activated. It's the ideal place to do any initialization in your script. In here, we're going to use the getComponent method to get the player input controller and assign it to the field. So our new script is now getting a reference.
Okay.
Reference to the previous script, which is currently just logging the input value. For this to be useful, we need to expose the input value. Let's switch to the player input controller script. Then we'll add a public vector2 property called movement input vector. We'll make the setter of this private so that only this script can change the value. Then, instead of logging the input value, we'll assign it to this property. Now this value will be available to us in the
movement input vector equals input value dot get vector2. Just to make sure I wrote that down correct. Public class, okay. Public vector2 movement input vector get private set. Okay. Movement input vector equals input value dot get vector2. Okay.
the player controller script. Let's switch back to this script to make use of it. We'll create the update method. This is another special method that is called by Unity every frame. In here, we'll change the position based on the input. In a 3D game, we can move in 3 dimensions, so we'll use a 3-dimensional vector to store the change in position. Unity provides a type called vector3 for this. We'll set this to a new vector3. We can now use the movement input vector to set the desired position change. We want to move along the x-axis based on the left and right movement input. To do this, we'll set the x value of the vector to the x value of the input. In a 3D game, the y-axis is for up and down. We don't want to move up and down yet, so we'll set this to 0. We want to move along the z-axis based on the up and down movement input, so we'll set this to the y value of the input. Now we want to add this change to the current position. We can access the position by typing transform.position. Then we'll add the change to this value.
Actually, wait, I see the way that they did this. And that's actually really smart. Hold on. Oh, she's British. She said Z instead of Z. Yeah. Okay. Let me double check here. Vector3 position change equals new vector3 player input controller dot movement input vector dot x 0 player input controller dot movement input vector dot y.
So
Okay. Transform position plus equals position change.
When there's no input, the position change value will be 0 and there will be no movement. But when there is input, the input vector will have a value and cause the position to change.
Why does that girl's voice sound like Gemma from Dragon Quest XI? You really think so? Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna have to, Oh wow, 617 subscribers. I was at 615 when I started. That's awesome. Whoever the two of you were, like, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Ugh, but I'm gonna have to go way down. Okay, I'm getting closer. Okay, now I'm in the 2024s. Getting closer. It's perfect, I'm keeping it. Their charm is too strong. What kind of inertia? What was I effing knew it? I'm gonna open that in a tab and save that for later. Hold on. Shit, where was it? There you are. Because I have a short of just me reacting to Gemma. I may have passed it. No, I think I'm still... Okay, no, I'm definitely closer. There you are.
What if I take a tumble and do myself a mischief?
Let me play that again.
What if I take a tumble and do myself a mischief?
When there's no input, the position change value will be 0 and there will be no movement. Value. So when there's no input, the position change value will be 0 and there will be no movement.
What if I take a tumble and do myself a mischief?
Yeah, I'm not hearing it, SC Jolly. I'm not hearing it at all. I am sorry, but I'm not hearing it. Okay, now what is this?
But now I'm here, I can't go back. I think I have to stay.
You gonna crawl out the water and turn it to sea foam? Girl, what is you trying to... Michelle sings a bewitching melody that reverberates off the cliffs above. I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it was gonna be the Little Mermaid in this bitch. Ah, wait, why is that so funny still? Alright. Okay, do I have everything transformed at position plus equals position dot change? Yes.
But when there is input, the input vector will have a value and cause the position to change. Let's click this button to save both scripts. Then we'll switch back to Unity and press play to try this out.
Invalid term plus equals?
chain.
Alright, hold on. Excuse me. Probably about time I changed the song. Let's not do horror music. No. Actually gonna play that a little later. Yeah, this'll help. Okay, let's see. Private void update. Vector 3 position change equals new vector 3. Player input controller dot movement input vector dot x 0. Player input controller dot movement input vector dot y. Okay, that is actually correct. Oh, there's a dot there. It's always the, like, periods between certain terms that I keep missing. You had to fix a Blender model? Oh, hell yeah, respect. Alright, let's see. What? Oh god, it's zooming. God, please tell me the rest of this video is just adjusting the variables to like adjust max speed, because this is crazy.
Let's click this button to save both scripts. Then we'll switch back to Unity and press play to try this out. Now when we press the movement keys, the player moves. It's a bit fast though. That's because the update method is called many times every second. If the game is running at 60 frames per second, then the update method will be called 60 frames per second. This means that the player position is also changing 60 times per second. If the game is running slower, say at 30 frames per second, then the update method will be called less and the player will move slower. So we need to account for how fast our game is running when updating the position. Let's stop the game and switch back to the script to do this. We're going to multiply the position change by a value called time.delta time. This is the amount of time that has passed since the last update call. If the game is running at a higher number of frames per second, this will be a smaller number. If it's running at a lower number of frames per second, it will be a larger number. Multiplying by this will make the position change at a constant speed regardless of how fast the game is running. Let's save the script and switch back to Unity to try it out.
Okay. Let me just try this on my own. Now it's running too slow. Yeah, either way.
Now it's moving much slower. Probably too slow. Let's make a change to our script so that we can control the speed of the player. We'll stop the game and go back to the script. We'll add a private float field called speed. To allow us to set this value from Unity, we need to add the serialized field attribute. Then we'll multiply the position change by this value.
Hold on, you kind of sped through that a little too quick. Okay. Serialized field.
Then we'll multiply the position change by this value.
Wait, let me go back a bit. Ah.
Then we'll multiply the position change by this value.
Okay, so I do have the correct brackets for that.
So the
times speed.
higher the speed value, the more the position will change. Let's save this and switch back to Unity.
You know, the more I think about it, I'm gonna set that to 0 and see if it does exactly what I'm hoping it will. Oh good, no problems. Wait, what's the z-axis on here? Let me double check this. Yeah, it's not moving at all.
If we select the player in the hierarchy, we can now see the speed value.
Oh, right, because there's no speed factor. Let me set that to 5. Yeah. Okay, now I can test with the script and see if setting this to 0 achieves what it is I'm trying to accomplish. Yes, it does. I have hit a breakthrough. This is perfect. Now we have the illusion of 3D in a the illusion of 2D in a 3D space, because now in terms of just our movement, we are only confined to moving in a 2D space, and that is exactly what I want. Cool. So now I have a character movement template for like any kind of 2D platformer type thing, whether I wanted to go like linear platformer like Ninja Gaiden or full Metroidvania. Like this. Whereas I kept bouncing off of Godot's sense of scripting, like this in Unity actually works pretty well for me. I realize I'm probably going to get this stream copyright claimed because of how often I'm using, or at least how many times I've played Butterfly Kiss from Persona 5 now. But you know what? It's fine. This is a good song for just thinking and following along to shit.
Value in the inspector. Let's set this to 2. Then we'll press play to try it out. Now the player is moving faster. You can change the speed value while the game is playing to find a value that you like. We'll set it to 3. It's worth noting though that the changes you make when playing are lost when you stop the game. Let's stop the game to check this. As you can see, the speed has reverted back to 2.
Yeah.
We'll set it back to 3 and press play again. Now we've got the player moving, but you can see that we currently float in the air and move through the platforms. In the next video in this series, we'll look at how we can add gravity to the player and make it collide with obstacles. If you want to be alerted when this one's out, then subscribe and click the bell icon. If you have any questions or feedback on this video, let us know in the comments.
Okay. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to save this for later. And then the next time I do this next week, I will figure something out. Or like I'll just keep following along. So save this. I'm actually going to come back in here. Remove this project from the list. And honestly, remove this too. Like this I'll keep, but I don't think I'm gonna make any more use of it ever. But 3D platformer homage, that is just what I'm gonna title this. It's connected to Unity Cloud, so if I ever reinstall Unity on another device and I want to re-download this thing that I've been working on, I totally can. So I'm very happy about that, but I'm not going to close out Unity, but I do kind of want to try to get some kind of semblance of where to take this, except I don't even know if that's what I want to do, considering, yeah, I don't know. All I know is that I think the direction I want to take this is an homage, to Tomba 2. But, as far as how I want to do it, I don't know. Like, very clearly I don't want to like just rip Tomba's entire shit. But there is a but I guess I do have to figure out what kind of gimmicks do I want, for lack of a better word, because the thing I keep thinking of is like Tomba, which is like you gain powers from jumping on your enemies where you're like biting them. And in both games, you get magic power just from biting the pigs. And you and like with that magic power, once you gain access to like either magic gems in the first game or the evil pig robes in Tomba 2, then you can use your magic power to cast spells. Hold on. But then, like, I keep thinking about that, and I keep thinking about Ape Escape, because Ape Escape is, like, very open-ended 3D platforming, almost like multiple zone sandbox style thing. But, within that game, you don't actively clear the levels unless you capture the requisite amount of monkeys. And I guess the question is, like, obviously I don't want to have pigs because that's a rip on Tomba, and I don't want to have monkeys because that's a rip on Ape Escape. Having pigs too would also be a rip on Angry Birds as well, but what then what animal then do I want to like have as like a fight? Like, where's the conflict going to be with like what type of animal? Like wolves, bears? Like, honestly, I don't know. What's your game genre apart from platformer? Like parkour or something? Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't quite thought that far. Tony, thank you so much for being here, and like, no worries, I'm actually ending soon, but I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I will catch you on the next stream. See you soon. I wouldn't say parkour is a genre, and that's even despite the fact that Tomba absolutely has parkour elements, like being able to swing off of poles, climb up walls, like float and glide in the air, like that sort of thing, like falling from high places and jumping up to like from low places and up to higher places. Like, I don't know, this project is still in the very robots? Do you mean robots, Jenny? But I don't know. Like, I have no idea exactly where this game is going to go. I haven't even concepted anything out. We are still very much in the early stages. Your phone was dead. Kill the evil AI. Valid. But I haven't quite figured this out yet. I definitely have some things to write down if that's the case, but as it stands now, I think what I want to do is just keep following along with Ketra Games' tutorials, just to see or just to get more of a sense of like how to approach a 2.5D platformer in Unity. So I think that's going to be where I pick up next time. But the evil AI can be your big boss, kill the robots. I don't know. As interesting as a premise as that sounds, I don't know. I think it's like too overt with like meaning. I don't necessarily think, even though I took a bunch of classes in college about how games about games that have meaning and should have meaning, I don't 100% know if a game like this needs to have meaning. Overdone? I don't think it's overdone, but I think I don't think it necessarily needs to have like such overt storytelling overtones. I think that's what I am getting at there. But yeah, I think that's gonna be where I leave it. I hate to cut and run really early, but like I said in my pinned message, I have family in town staying with me tonight through Thursday. I forgot to add that. So I won't be live as long as usual because I want to spend time with them. So I'll probably only be live for a maximum of 2 hours. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience. But that's going to be where I end the stream, everybody. Oh, I must exit play mode to save the scene. Okay, save. Close. Yeah, I'm not doing this pathway content. That is stupid. So I think I'm actually just going to minimize that window. But that's going to be the end of the stream, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm sorry that this was much shorter than normal, but yeah, I want to spend some time with my mom. It's going to be a lot of fun. Essie Jolly, thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next stream. Everybody, if you liked what you saw, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and ringing the bell to get notified every time I upload and go live. If you're new here, hi, I'm Pause and Effect. I do game development streams normally every Thursday. I was going to do 2 game dev streams this week, but then things happened. I pushed one of them to next week, and I scheduled a Dragon Quest VII Reimagined demo in its place because I want to play that game. I'm so excited for it. So stay tuned for that Monday. Stay tuned for my next game development stream on Thursday of next week. And beyond that, I do videos every Wednesday and every Saturday, and I post a short of like things that I've played every day. So please stay tuned for those as well. And like I said, tune in Thursday. I'm going to be playing the demo for Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. So thanks for being here. You guys have been a very fun audience. Thanks for hanging out with me, vibing with me, chatting with me, and encouraging me and helping me fix my mistakes. I greatly appreciate your time and your company. Once again, this has been Pause and Effect on Air. I've been your host, CJ, and I will see you all Thursday for Dragon Quest. Have a great night.